What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Accelerate Your Life podcast. I am your host, Mallory Marks, and I am joined by one of my friends and one of our current EA clients, Miss Bailey White. Bailey, what's up? How you doing?
Hey guys, what's up, Mal? How are you?
We are good. I am good. We had for everybody out there, we had a little technical difficulties when we were trying to get this set up, but we're here. So all is good. That's all that matters. Happy to have you here, Bailey. And for everybody listening, a little background on Bailey. She is a current client of Accelerate Athletics. She started with us back in August of 2023. So it's been about 8 months. And as we get into the pod today, I'm going to let Bailey tell us her story, herself, and her fitness evolution and all of that good stuff. But what I will say to kind of set the tone for the episode is I feel like Bailey, and let me know if you kind of agree with this yourself, but she's not necessarily somebody that like you would have looked at and been like, oh yeah, I totally see, her wanting a fitness coach, or like you would probably look at her and be like, she knows what she's freaking doing in the gym because you did, but you still hired a coach. And that's actually exactly like what I want to talk about today is the perspective of a fitness journey and as a whole, but then also even that extra layer of like getting a coach, getting support, taking things to the next level from somebody who's not doing it for weight loss and is doing it more so for how do I take things from like, I'm in a good spot to a great spot and how to continue to improve yourself. Right. So excited to hear, that on everything from you today. But before we dive in, I got one question. I ask everyone this that I have on the pod to start it off. It's a really like just a fun, wholesome question.
Okay.
But what is one thing that you love about life right now?
What is one thing I love about life right now? Oh my gosh.
It can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be.
I'm gonna say the ability to like get up and move and enjoy it and not dread it and work my body in ways that a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to do.
I
So
love that. Okay, that was
yeah,
such
that's
a
what I would
such a
say.
pure, wholesome answer. Do you feel
Yeah.
like just now out of curiosity, do you feel like that's something that you didn't always have that like love or like awareness of or appreciation for, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
kind of changed that recently?
I think like learning more about it,
Yeah.
really. Like understanding it more and not just doing stuff like and just going through the motions, but instead like and that's one thing that I'm going to talk about today is
Yeah.
just having so much more knowledge about everything.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think that's one of the definitely the biggest things you've gained. And I'm excited to hear more about that. But let's kick it off then with you telling a little bit, and I'm gonna give you the floor for as much, as long as you want this to be. Your origin story. Like when it comes to health and fitness, like when did you start getting into fitness? Was it always part of your life? Did you grow up an athlete? Like you can start as early in your life as you want, but what's kind of the origin story that in the history you had with health and fitness prior to working with EA?
mhm. Okay. So I played sports all my life and even throughout high school. So I always worked out with like a team or a coach or like a strength, trainer or whatever. And then when I went to college, I played sports as well. So I always had somebody, telling me what to do. I was working out with a whole room full of girls, doing it all together. And so when I graduated from college, I was like, oh, wait, how do I do this on my own? So what do? I jump on Instagram, I jump on, the internet. I just do things that I see other people doing, like other workouts or other diets or, no carb or, the carnivore diet or 75 hard or, and then I joined a gym down here and I got a trainer. And that was when I kind of fell in love with like lifting weights and then like group fitness classes. And I was like, oh, okay. So there is like some structure to it, but I still like wasn't understanding like the nutrition side of it. So I've been, I would say, like working out seriously for probably like 4, 5 years now almost. And I mean, like you said, I felt like I knew exactly what I was doing in the gym, right? Like I had it down, because I had a good physique and I was strong and, all these things. But then once I joined EA, I realized like, holy crap, there's like a whole science to this. Like you could do so much more with your body with like just understanding it and like learning more about it and like working from the inside and like fixing everything that's going on in here and then getting like way better results. And that's like the coolest thing that I've seen now is I'm spending less time in the gym now than I have. And which is not a bad, I mean, it's not a good or bad thing because I love
Right.
being there. but it's like I'm maximizing my time there
Mhm.
so much more now because it's like I'm doing exactly what I need to do and I'm not wasting any time doing other things or like doing too much but not getting the same results that I am now. So it has been so cool. And like even as somebody who thought like I know exactly what I'm doing, there's always more to know. And
Yeah.
like there's just so much information out there. And that's another thing. Like the fitness industry nowadays, every influencer out there, you know, act like they know what to do, but it's like everywhere you look, there's something different. And that's the
Mhm.
thing. Different things work for different people. So
Yeah.
that's why coaching has been the coolest thing for me is like having somebody who can dive into my goals and where I'm at and where I want to be and like look at, you know, what my body needs to be successful versus everybody else out here. And then even like changing that like along the way. Like so it's been so cool to
It's
see.
the
So
journey, right? It's like that's
yes,
like every
yeah.
people roll their eyes. We're like, but like it really is. Like you have to
Yeah.
kind of go through all these evolutions. But I
Mhm.
want to back it up. So when you had mentioned that you did like after college, you had a trainer, you started getting into certain things, and you definitely always had a routine. It sounds like you always had it in
Yeah.
your life as in some
Yeah.
capacity. Did you feel like you knew what you were doing truly, or were there always parts of you were like, I know I'm doing things, but like, is it the right thing? Or did you
Yeah,
kind of like, yeah,
I always, like I said, did what I would have, like other people, I would see them doing it, you know,
right.
and I'd be like, okay, yeah, let me do that too. Like it works for them, it's going to work for me. So it's like I kind of understood why I was doing stuff, but not as much as I do now, if that makes
So
sense.
yeah, for sure. And so when were you actively searching for a coach when, or even like at least open to it when you
No,
found me
I
slash
mean,
EA?
whenever I hear of coaching, I hear of like people doing it to like get on stage and like compete
Right,
and like
right,
that
right.
kind of thing. And I didn't know people just got coaches just to step up their fitness or to help lose weight. Like I didn't know that was a thing. So like when I got in contact with you guys, I was like, I mean, it's never something I've really considered, but okay, we'll talk about it. And then I did, and it's been amazing. So it's not something I was looking for. No,
Okay.
I mean, at
Well,
all.
I guess what I'm trying to kind of more curious about is like at that point in your fitness journey before
Mhm.
you started with EA, were you questioning what you were doing and feeling like I I'm not sure if I'm doing the right things. Maybe there's whether it's somebody to help me or just like I need to figure it out on my own. Like, were you aware that you might not be doing the right things, or were you really confident that like no, what I'm doing is working and I'm like on the right path?
Yeah, I was pretty confident in it, like,
Okay.
because I felt good about where I was at, like, I felt solid with it, and so I did feel like I had it all figured out. So and
Okay.
that's what's been the thing is, like, I didn't have it all figured out.
What made you realize that?
When I saw more results in 6 months than I have in 5 years.
That's crazy. That's a
Yeah,
crazy. Okay. Okay, I
yeah,
wanna come back to that because obviously
okay.
I want to dive into, like, what those results and everything are and why you think that is and all of that. But what then because obviously and everybody listening to this, this podcast knows, like, coaching's an investment. There's an investment to it. It's money, it's your time, it's your energy, it's your trust, like, in another person. So if you felt like you were on the right path, what was it that made you because obviously now you can look back and say, "I saw the results," but, like, you didn't know that was gonna
Mhm.
happen for sure, right?
Right.
So, like, what was it that made you think, like, "Maybe I do need help and maybe I will do this?"
Mhm. I think I just wanted to know that, like, I gave myself every opportunity I had to be better. Like, if there are resources out there, like, why not use them? Why not try it? You know, like, if there are people out there that want to help and know what they're talking about and can show you all of these resources they have, it's like, why not try it, you know?
It's funny you say that because I think that right there, like, I'm about to ask you, like, what you think it really was that has led to you being so successful and seeing all the results, and I don't know if this will be part of your answer, but, from an outsider's perspective, like, that attitude and mentality that you have is 100% the reason like, one of the reasons that you are so successful, and I think, like, it's funny because the people who I have found are the most willing to invest, again, not just when I say invest, I don't just mean financially, it's part of it, but, like, time wise, energy, all that. are not necessarily the people that you think need coaching. Like they
Mhm.
don't
Mhm.
have, ugh, of course, I'm getting all these texts and dinging. They don't have, big weight loss goals. They're not necessarily needing to make changes for their actual health, but it's because they want to see what they can do, and they want to take every opportunity. Then they want to, they have discipline, they have drive, they have motivation, they have ambition, and like they're doing it for no other reason than just to prove to themselves what they can do. And those are the people most willing and likely to like take that leap and invest. And like I don't want to say that they're not the people that should be, because they are, like, but it also breaks my heart because like there's so many people that need to literally for their life, for their health, and like they're
Mhm.
the ones not doing it. But the short of the long of that is like that quality of you, that ambition, that drive, like that is why you are successful. And I just wish I could replicate that mindset in so many people.
Well,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, for sure. It's been, I mean, I watch it. You just have the best attitude with it. But did you ever, okay, well, actually, let's go back to the fact where you said that you've have seen more progress in the last 6 months than you had in 5 years. Let's start with what is that progress? Like, what have you seen?
Oh my gosh, I have like my body composition has completely changed. Like I used to think, oh, like I have a good physique, like I work hard on it, like I didn't eat bad, but I mean I felt like I was at a solid place and I felt like I was kind of strong, whatever. Oh my gosh, like my like the shape of my body has completely changed. Like clothes fit so differently. I just have like a whole new confidence. Like I feel better, I'm sleeping better. I'm so much stronger than I ever was then, and spending less time in the gym, but more strength. Like, is so wild. Like,
She's out
just
here
to see how.
benching like what's your bench these days? I know you're above 135 now.
Well, it depends on how many reps, but I touched 150
Oh my
for
gosh, let's
yeah,
freaking go.
for a few reps. I was pretty excited
That is
about.
wild. Okay, so strength, body composition. I mean, I know that. I've seen your progress pictures. They're insane. I'm looking at your delts right now. They look great.
Thank
Anything like I know you didn't necessarily struggle that much with like your relationship with food or anything per se before, and but have you noticed anything like from the mindset side as well that's kind of changed for you?
Yeah, like understanding more about it, I know that so let's say I eat clean all week long and then I, go out of town and I eat a little crappy, for a day. Used to, I would have kicked myself for it and killed myself over it because it's like I'm working so hard and then I just went and ruined it. That's not what it is. Like it's gonna take so much more than just that to ruin it. And like usually I would like feel so bad about myself
Yeah.
and I would go, do a million hours more of cardio the next week. And it's like you can forgive yourself more than that. Like there's more grace there. So it's like if you do the right thing most of the time, you can still
Yeah.
live a
It's
balanced life.
funny. It's so funny because you're probably finding, because this is me, that you used to like you used to like go off way less, but like punish yourself way more, and you were getting like smaller results. Like you would
Yeah.
actually not be that bad, completely kill yourself doing a bunch of cardio and being mad at yourself and like really see no difference from it. And now it's like you probably can be off air quotes a little bit more frequently. You
Mhm.
actually don't reprimand yourself as much and you're seeing better results.
Yes, exactly.
It's so
Exactly.
wild. It's so like that was when it finally hit me when I'm like, I like the things that the restriction that we try to do, the overall training that we try to do, like that's when we see the least progress. And when you finally
Yes.
switch that, you're so much better.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's like there's no understanding there. You're just
yeah,
doing stuff.
right. Well, and I know you said knowledge was a big thing that changed too. What do you think, what were the biggest specific kind of pieces that you want, like that clicked into place after you started having, us and Coach Jess teach you more about stuff?
I would say putting the right amounts of things in my body
Mm.
is like actually what you need. It's like, you're so scared of carbs. It's like, no, you need carbs. And it's like for the first couple check-ins, she was giving me more carbs and more carbs and more carbs. And I'm like, wait, like, are you sure about this? Like more carbs again, like all this food? Like really? And yeah, like and I was still eating more and more and more food, but like the scale is literally staying the same. And like but I'm still changing. So it's like understanding that has been big. And then like why I do, certain workouts, why I do this many reps, why I switch over to this. So just learning all about it has been like, it's been mind blowing.
And when you came in, because I know you said you weren't necessarily looking for a coach, so there may not have been top goals of like, I want to complete this with, with my coach at the beginning. But what were your fitness goals when you were kind of working towards this? Like, were you trying to be stronger, build muscle, lose body fat? Like, what were you kind of focused on?
Mhm. I was trying to keep like an athletic build, but I wanted to like kind of like cut down a little bit. Obviously build more muscle, but then like tone, and I know
Yeah,
that word is like you know, it's like lose the body fat
right.
so the muscle shows some more. So
Yeah.
basically like build more muscle
And lean
and
out a bit.
feel better and lean out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the
So
reason I like wanted to ask that is because that's most people's goal, right? And I
mhm,
think like what you had just said before that, as far as learning that, okay, I have to eat things in the right amounts and like those quantities and stuff matter. And I also needed to piece together and be taught that like the scale staying the same and being able to eat more and getting stronger is a good thing. Because I think what happens with so many women is their goal is exactly what you said. They want to get stronger, build lean muscle, lean out, like be tone, because be tone means build muscle, get leaner and see
mhm,
it. But they don't understand that, hey, if we're building muscle and losing body fat, the scale might not change at all. Cause that's
mhm,
you build is gain, you lose, like 1 for 1 is going to be net zero. And so they're actually accomplishing their goal, but all they're focused on is that number on the scale. And if you don't learn that and you don't tie those
mhm,
pieces together and somebody doesn't teach you that, you're going to spin your wheels forever because you're going to be like, well, I'm not seeing the scale go down. So I need to eat less. And like now you're not working towards the, build muscle goal, right? And so like
right,
they
right,
just
right.
get stuck. And it sounds like maybe that was before coaching, that was kind of a piece you were missing and that clicked into place.
Yeah, because I was just like staring at the scale all the time and just seeing it sit there and like, or seeing it go up. And then like, because I've like reached out to Coach Jess before, like, oh my gosh, the scale's up. What's wrong? She literally gave me like 10 different reasons on why it went up other than the food.
Yeah.
And like, I did not know that. So now, like, when I see the scale go up, I'm like, whatever, it'll be back down in a couple days.
Yeah.
And it goes down every time. And I tell my friends that now. Like, I'll hear them talking about, like, oh, this scale. I'm like, literally throw it out the window. I see girls in
Love
the
that.
gym, like, weighing themselves, and I'm like, "Sis, it's not all about that." Like, there's so much more you can
Yes.
like, so many more other wins that you could have other than the number on that scale.
Yeah.
So that's been cool.
I mean, you don't bench 150 without having muscle that weighs some weight on you,
Mhm,
And like that's the other
exactly.
thing too, is like you'll probably find the more evolutions you go through of your fitness journey, the more like, cuts and bulks and getting stronger and everything you find, like the body that you're continuing to build, like I'm just throwing out random numbers right now, but let's
Mhm,
just say you weigh 130 pounds. Like right now, if you were to do a cut and you feel great and look good, and then you go through another cycle where you're working on strength, like the next time you get that lean again, the same body fat percentage, you might actually be 135, but look even better because you
mhm.
built
Yeah,
muscle, And so it's also realizing like the number is going to change and your like normal is going to change the more lean muscle you put on. And like you can still, you want to focus more on being like that lower body fat percentage, and who
mhm,
cares about the number? So I love that. I love like seeing that mindset shift and being able to, teach other your friends and stuff about it too. Um, well, okay, so given the fact, kind of coming back and reeling it into the fact that you were already again in a pretty good position, like
mhm.
everything that we're talking about now is just continuing to take things to the next level. Did you ever at points in your fitness journey prior feel like lonesome or even like you didn't feel, well, let's start with, I guess, the first part of my question. Did you ever feel like unsure of where to go for information because you weren't necessarily somebody seeking weight loss? That makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
You felt
Yeah.
like, wait, yeah, talk to me kind of about that. Like, did you just feel frustrated? Where were you trying to, like, what were you trying to figure out?
Yeah, because I wasn't really trying, like, to lose a ton of weight. I wasn't really trying to get on, like, some fast fad diet, like, where you just dropped a lot of weight like that, because I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do, and so it was hard finding something out there that was, like, sustainable, because
Mhm.
nobody wants, something that takes a while,
Right.
and everybody wants, like, a quick fix, and, I mean, I know just from being in the gym long enough that, like, that's not how actual results are gonna,
Yeah.
like, you're not gonna get them and keep them that way. So everything I was seeing, it was like something that was quick, and I was like, I don't want that. I want something that's like real and kind of like you guys always preach, like that I can turn into like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to learn about it so then I could apply it, from here for the rest of my life, not just for like a short term fix kind of thing.
Did you always know that to get to kind of the goals you had and the body comp you wanted that you needed to focus on like strength or lean muscle? Was that always like, were you like kind of lucky to kind of know that? Or did you ever go through a period where you thought that eating less and doing lots of cardio was like what you needed to do?
No, I definitely thought that's what you needed to do too. And kind of that's why I did the 75 hard that I did.
Mm,
Cause like that's like a ton of cardio. It's a
right.
ton of time in the gym. It's a diet that you're on. And it's like, yeah, I got smaller when I was on it, but I was also tired a lot because I was just wearing my body out. Like I wasn't feeding it enough because I didn't know what enough was.
Right.
I just thought, oh, a diet, you just eat salads and you just eat chicken and, that's a diet, that's what your body needs to, get smaller or whatever. So it's just like I wasn't giving my body what it needed to be
Yeah.
successful, but I
Yeah.
thought I was.
When you
So
got like air quotes got smaller, like was that what you originally thought your goal was? Or did you get to that and you're like, that's I thought it was gonna be a different outcome?
yeah, yeah. I just started like losing all this weight and I'm like, wait, my muscles, like my legs are getting smaller. Like I don't want my muscle to go
Yeah.
away. So it was kind of getting the goal I thought I wanted, but it really wasn't.
I think that that's like the problem for this is where I'm so passionate about and what we do at EA and because I struggle with the same like I felt so alone and lost and didn't know where to go because I wasn't never overweight but I kind of identified with like like skinny fat right where
Yeah.
like I knew I had body fat to lose like my body fat percentage was higher than I would like it but like my weight I wasn't big I just didn't have enough muscle mass but I think like as women if we ever have body goals, we just assume that weight loss is what we need to do to get to those
Yeah.
body goals because like that's kind of how diet culture is.
Mhm.
But in reality, like losing weight wasn't going to help me. I just kept being a smaller version of the like higher body fat, skinny fat version,
Yes.
right? And I wasn't like building any muscle. And so,
Building muscle, what we
yeah,
needed. Yeah.
and so that's why I think it's easy to like feel lost when at least we both got to the point where we realized, wait, my goal isn't weight loss. I think the first start is like women just think their goal is weight loss, even if because that's just like we think the only goal we
Yeah,
think
it's
there
just what we're
is.
taught. Yeah.
Yeah. But once you realize, wait, okay, I don't want to lose weight. I need to like build more muscle.
Mhm,
Like there's still not a lot of resources out there.
mhm,
So yeah, that's just I think it's interesting and it's something I'm so passionate about is like women realizing like there's other goals.
mhm.
Now with you having always been an athlete and never really being like overweight or anything like that, did you ever have periods too where you felt, I don't know if you can relate to this, I just know I did, where you felt
Mhm.
like you couldn't say things like, "Oh, I don't feel super confident," or "I want to like I'm trying to, build lean muscle, or I'm trying to pay attention to my macros." Like, did you ever feel like you couldn't say those things because people would be like, "What the heck? You're totally fine. Shut up."
Yeah, yeah, like, I've always had like, even now still, I, like, kinda pick myself apart sometimes, and people are like, "Wait, like, you have no room to complain, like, look at you." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, but still I have goals I still wanna
Yeah.
meet." So it's like, I don't wanna have to feel bad because
Yeah.
I have goals too. It's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? So, yes, my goals may be different than yours, but it's like you're still working towards something, I'm still working towards something, you know? It's all the
Yeah.
same.
And that's like I wanted this episode to be a like resonate with those people who feel like they never can fricking say anything. And it's not to say that there's a difference between like loving yourself and still having goals versus like picking yourself apart and like not having that like good body image like obviously want to be on the first part of that but you can still have goals even if you're already at a good spot and I just
Yes.
remember always kind of like yeah tracking my macros and like people would be like why the heck are you doing that like you're totally fine like shut up and I'm like I'm not doing it to lose weight. I'm doing it to like, because I love it. I love making sure I'm fueling myself the right way. I want to take myself to the next level. Like, I just want anybody listening, if you are somebody who kind of identifies with already being at a decent spot, you still get to care about your health. Like it's not lame to like want to
Oh.
prioritize your goals and care about your health. And actually, that's a great. I do want to ask you, like, how have you communicated your goals and why you're doing some of the things you're doing with your friends, family? I mean, are they pretty supportive or have you had to have some of like those awkward conversations?
Yeah, some of them are awkward because, like, I mean, my family obviously supports me, but then, like, we'll go out and eat somewhere and I'll be, like, trying to figure out what, on the menu is gonna, like, meet my goal for that day. And they're like, "Do you always do this? Does it always take you this long?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I enjoy it." Like,
Right.
I think it's fun, like, making the best choices for me.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, any of this would be okay, but it's like I kind of want to do the best thing for me, you know?
Yeah.
And it's cool to see, like, or to me, this is like my competitive nature. It's like, okay, how far can I go with this? Like,
Yeah.
how good can I treat my body, and how good can I make it look? How good can I feel? Like, how strong can I get? So it's like I just want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing
Yeah.
just to see what's out there, what I can do. Like,
And I think that right there is the biggest distinction because I know it's easy to look at people like me, you, and I don't do this as much anymore. I've said this to you so many times. You remind me so much of me like 2 or 3 years ago. In like I love that in the best ways. But like I definitely went through my phase where I was obsessed, and like it wasn't unhealthy obsessed. I had years and years and years ago. I definitely had the more like restrictive part. But like in the phase you're in now, you just love it. You're obsessed because it's fun. And that's the distinction, right? Is like you're doing this because you enjoy it. You still have flexibility. You're also
mhm,
like eating plenty. And it's just like you want to take things to the next level. And I think it's just easy for others outside to be like, oh, she's, has disordered eating. She's tracking all her macros. She's weighing things out. She can't go to out to eat and like relax. And it's like, you definitely could. You
mhm,
just enjoy actually like seeing what you can accomplish, right? And that again right there is the distinction. And you'll go through seasons. I'm sure, in a
mhm.
couple years you might be like, yeah, I'm kind of like I'm gonna live a little bit more relaxed, still always gonna prioritize things. And it just might not because but right now it's your passion and like
Mhm.
that's fun and take things to the next level.
Right.
So I love that. Okay, I do want to kind of come to this part because I know that sometimes the biggest things for people where you are, where you're in a good spot is like, do I really need help? Like, do I really want to, invest in this? I'm fine. And you were hesitant to sign up. I remember that. So talk to us a little bit about why was that? What was kind of yeah, making you kind of go back and forth there for a little bit?
Because I just thought, like, okay, I'm in an okay spot. I'm in a good spot. Like, I feel comfortable in the gym, I like going, I'm a fit girl, But then I was like, well, there is probably more out there to know. There's these people, this team, this group of girls too that are all gonna love it the way I do. So it's like, I mean, that would be cool to be a part of. Like, I kind of want to join that family. So yes, I was hesitant, and it was like an investment, like you said, like money and time, and like my energy goes to it. And
Hmm.
so I was nervous about that too. Like, I was nervous in, like, making that big investment and being like, am I really gonna commit to this the way I should? And I did, like, way more than I even expected to. Like, it's been cool.
It's
So
been so fun to watch you. Yeah, you just full force, and I knew you would. So if anybody was in similar shoes that you were, what would you say to them?
do it. Like, do it, do it, do it, and try it. Like, if you don't like it, you can say you tried it, but I guarantee you're not gonna join and be like, "Oh, wow, like, I'm not benefiting from this."
Yeah. And
There's that's impossible.
And the thing is, anybody again like that this specific kind of episode is relating to, like you're just the type of person who you're not gonna not like it. You're not gonna not like taking things to the next level because you would have never considered it if you weren't like you would not be focused on your fitness journey if you didn't like to take things from that like neutral to +5. And that's what I just think we do so well at EA. And this episode isn't even meant to be like a EA pump up. It's more just to be a place to resonate, I think, with women specifically who maybe feel like there's nothing out there for them or they can't chase their goals. Like that's really what because they're already in a decent spot. That's why I want to come through. But I will say, because that was
Mhm.
also the spot I was in too, I think that's what we do so well at EA. And I love to say that like I think a lot of doctors and healthcare professionals, their job is taking people from a -5, an already sick place, right? To just trying to get them back to baseline. And what I love that we freaking get to do is like people who are at baseline, they're already like solid. Let's be more proactive and like see
Yeah.
how awesome we can get and take things to a +5. you know?
Right. Like, let's
Um,
just push and see how far we can go kind of thing.
exactly. Which
Mhm.
I heard through the grapevine that you're kind of in that for sure in that train. Have you given more thought to competing? Do you think that's something that you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna compete in November of this
Oh my
year.
goodness. Let's freaking go. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
What did you like? How long have you been thinking about that? When did that kind of come to?
I've probably been thinking about it for like a year, like a solid year.
Okay. So before
And
it was like in your
before
head before you.
it
Okay.
was before I joined EA, and I told myself, like, obviously that's a big, big thing to like go through a prep.
Yeah.
It's expensive. It's like the suit, it's the
Yep.
show day, it's the
Yep.
travel. It's
Yep.
it's a lot. And so I thought, let me try lifestyle coaching with
Yes.
EA and let me see how I react to that. Let me see
Yeah.
how my body responds. Because I told myself if I do that, the lifestyle side of it, and I get mad results, like just imagine what I could
Oh
do if
yeah.
I like stepped it up even more to like a prep and like getting stage ready. So
Yep.
throughout the process with EA, I have found out that I love the structure, that it's like pushing and pushing. It's like, how far can you go? How
Yeah.
far can I go? Like using you guys and all the knowledge that you guys have. It's like, okay, how much more can I get out of them? Like, how much more
Yeah.
can they help me? And so that is what pushed me to make the jump to, yes, say, okay, I'm going to step on stage this year. Like, I know I can handle it. Cause like before I was like, I mean, I might could do it.
Yeah.
I might, like, it might be for me. But now, like,
Yeah.
working with you guys and working towards the goals that we have together, I know I can do it. And like, that's what I
That,
think. That's what I say every week in my check-in. It's like, why are you still going? It's like, because I have more to do. Like, even 8 months ago, I was in a solid place, but like,
yeah.
still now, like, my goal was here. It's like way past where
Yeah.
it was. Like, so it's
I'm
just,
literally like I'm just watching you like you are me three. Like I keep saying that. It's literally the exact same whole thing. I know exactly where your head's at. You're gonna crush it. And I'm glad you did it the way you did it because I do think that going through lifestyle coaching and like you have to be able to do that to obviously be able to prep and compete. Like if you can't go through a normal cut, if you can't track your macros 85% perfect, like you have no chance in doing that. Which
yeah.
obviously you do. But I think like proving to yourself, right? That like, okay, I can be consistent. I'm going to do this. And I freaking love this. It was kind of the same story for me. I did lifestyle coaching. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I did lifestyle coaching for 3 months. And during that, I decided I want to compete because
Mhm.
I fell more in love with it and got more
Yeah.
obsessed. Like, this is so fun. Like, what more can
Mhm.
I do?
Right.
And if I can just offer one piece of advice, I would say make sure that you are like obsessed because
Yeah.
competing is, and I know you are, you'll crush it. I'm so excited to watch it. But like competing is unlike anything I've ever done. And not competing, prep is
Yeah.
unlike anything I've ever done. And you have got to want it more than anything because like it's fucking hard.
Mhm.
And people ask me, they're like, what was it like? And I'm like, I can't even tell you. Like, it was just a different person. I couldn't fathom doing
Mhm.
it right now, but like, it wasn't even hard. Like, it was fucking hard, but it wasn't hard because I was obsessed with it, you know?
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah.
no doubt you're going to feel the same. Like, you're going to love the process. I can tell you do. So, like, you're going to crush it. But that's like the mindset you like had to make sure you were at first.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I remember when, like,
Yay.
I kinda started, like, looking into EA, and I saw that you had stepped on stage and Jess had stepped
yes,
on stage.
yeah,
I was like, "Oh my gosh, these aren't just, like, fitness coaches out here who don't know what they're talking about.
yeah,
Like, these girls have done what a lot of people won't, or I'm not gonna say can't, because everybody can do anything. They
yeah.
just, and I mean, I'm not gonna get into that, but, like, these girls have done it too. Like, they did it, I
Yeah.
wanna do it. So, like,
Uh,
leading by example too is something that I love that you guys do. That's
oh,
something I
well,
thought was,
thank you for saying that. I don't know if I couldn't do it again, but
that was
that's
gonna be what I was gonna ask you,
yeah.
like, would you do it
Ah,
again?
okay. I don't I wouldn't at this point because of
I was
kind
gonna
of
say where you are now, maybe.
like my hormone stuff and then so does pretty much everybody listening. And I don't want you to be talked out of it because I would recommend it. I'm so glad I did it. I'm not happy I did it. And I got off stage And I was like, I will absolutely do that again. It was so fun. And I had intended to until we kind of got past it and saw all the hormone issues. And like, obviously, I'm just not in a position where I could, even if I did want to. I don't think the hormone issues are solely from that. And obviously, a lot of people get through it without that. So, like, you just want to make sure you do it in the right way and everything. But it didn't end up for me being worth kind of the downstream effects. But in the moment, like, it was. And I am still so glad I did it because it's the most proud I think of myself I've like ever been, and the most just like holy shit, like I'm
I did
capable of a
that.
lot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did that. And so you're gonna feel just like really just like badass and strong and empowered after it. So I'm so excited to watch you go through it.
Thank you.
um but I think that's really all I had. I will let you add if there's anything else left that you just kind of wanted to leave everyone with.
I just think anybody who's like on the fence about it, I would absolutely recommend doing it. Like if you want to fall in love with the process and fall in love with yourself and like just show yourself like how strong you could be, like do it. Please do it for yourself because it's like it's our bodies, it's our health. It's like the one thing you have that's gonna keep going with you. It's like, yeah, you can spend money on clothes, you can spend money on a car, you can spend money on a nice house, but it's like spend money on your body.
Yeah.
Like on your health, on your body, on your I mean, it even affects your mental health. Like
Yeah.
it's the best investment you can make. Like
Yeah.
it
And it
literally is.
and back to the point of like even if you're in a like fine spot, it's like your body's the one thing you are in and with all day, every day. Like just make it the best you can be.
Yeah,
Keep it
why not like
going.
fix it and learn about it and
Yeah. And the
then
best
take that
doesn't
knowledge with you.
mean, yeah, and the best doesn't mean even just like physically the best it can look, but like the best it can feel, the
Feel.
best you can like fuel it, the best you can mentally like, all of that stuff. So totally.
Mhm.
I'm right there with you.
Like show up for yourself because it's
Yeah.
gonna feel good when you do.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much, Bailey. It's been so fun getting to talk to you and just also watching your journey and watching you for you to continue your journey. And yeah, I just appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. It was fun hanging out with you.
Bye, girl.
Bye, Mel.